It was the morning before New Year's Eve. The year 2000 was drawing to a close. In a quiet neighborhood in Setagaya, Tokyo, a terrible discovery was made. The Miyazawa family was gone. Mikio, Yasuko, and their two young children, Nina and Rei, were found dead inside their own home. They had been brutally murdered. But this wasn't just a murder. It was something else entirely. The killer didn't just kill them and run. He stayed. He lingered in the house for hours after the family was gone. He ate their ice cream, he used their computer, he even took a nap on their sofa. It's a case that defies simple explanation. It's a story that starts with a question that even today has no answer. Who would do this? And why? The crime scene felt like a violation on multiple levels. It wasn't just the violence, it was the intimacy of it. The Miyazawa family was, by all accounts, a normal, happy family. Mikio, the father, was 44. He worked for a consulting company. Yasuko, his wife, was 41. She ran a small private cram school, or juku, from their home. They had two children. Nina was their 8-year-old daughter. She loved ballet. Rei was their 6-year-old son. He was a bright little boy with a slight physical disability. They lived in a modest 2-story house nestled right next to a park. They were preparing for the New Year's holiday. It was a time for family, for celebration, for looking forward to the future. A future they would never get to see. On the morning of December 31st, 2000, Yasuko's mother couldn't reach them by phone. She lived right next door, sharing a wall with their house. She used her key to go inside. The scene she walked into is the stuff of nightmares. Mikio was found at the bottom of the stairs. He had been stabbed multiple times. Upstairs, in the attic loft where the children slept, she found Yasuko and Nina. They too had been stabbed to death. Little Rei was found in his bed. He had been strangled. The brutality was shocking. The killer left behind a treasure trove of evidence. It's almost comical how much he left. You have to wonder if he was doing it on purpose. He left his DNA everywhere. It was on the food he ate, on the towels he used, on the computer mouse. The police have a full DNA profile. They know he is male. They know he has a specific genetic marker common in East Asians, but also found in some Europeans. He also left his fingerprints, dozens of them, clear, perfect prints. But when they ran them through the national database, they got nothing. No matches. The killer left behind the entire outfit he was wearing, a black bucket hat, a Uniqlo fleece jacket, an AirTech jacket, and gloves. All of it was just left at the scene. They were size 27.5 centimeters, a US size 9.5, Slazenger sneakers, a British brand. Police discovered these shoes were only sold in South Korea. This was a huge clue. Was the killer from Korea? The clues just kept getting stranger. Inside a hip bag the killer also left behind, police found sand. Not just any sand. Forensic analysis traced it to the Edwards Air Force Base in California. How on earth did sand from a US military base in the Mojave Desert end up in a killer's bag in Tokyo? With so much evidence, why has this case never been solved? That's the 25-year-old question. One theory is that the killer wasn't Japanese. The Korean-made shoes and the foreign sand, well, they point to this. If he was a foreigner, maybe a tourist, a soldier, or even a student, he might not have been in Japan's criminal or residency databases. He could have committed the crime and then simply left the country. He could be living a normal life somewhere else right now, a continent away. This would explain why his DNA and fingerprints never matched anyone in the Japanese system. He was a visitor who brought death and then disappeared. Another theory revolves around mistakes made in the initial investigation. In the first crucial hours and days, did the police miss something? Some have criticized the police for focusing too heavily on certain leads while ignoring others. The police have never given up. Every year, on the anniversary of the murders, they hold a memorial service near the house. They hand out flyers with the suspect's description. The reward for information now stands at 20 million yen, about 130,000 US dollars. The case file is enormous, with over 12,500 pieces of evidence. More than 246,000 investigators have worked on the case over the years. They have followed thousands of leads, but they are still chasing a phantom, a man who left behind everything but his identity, a man who committed one of Japan's most brutal crimes and simply walked away. The Setagaya family murder sent a shockwave across Japan. Japan is known for being one of the safest countries in the world. Violent crime, especially home invasions of this nature, is incredibly rare. The idea that a family could be slaughtered in their own home in a quiet, middle-class neighborhood was terrifying. It shattered the nation's sense of security. If it could happen to the Miyazawas, it could happen to anyone. The case became a national obsession. It was on every news channel in every newspaper. The Miyazawa house still stands. It has been preserved by the police as a crime scene for over 2 decades. It is a constant, grim reminder of what happened there. Neighbors walk past it every day. They see the overgrown garden, the weathered walls. It is a monument to an unsolved tragedy. Every year, people leave flowers and prayers. The house is a scar on the neighborhood, a physical representation of the fear and loss that the community still feels. It asks a silent question to everyone who passes. How could this happen here? And where is the person who did this? The case has had a lasting impact on Japanese society and law enforcement. In response, police have adopted new forensic techniques and improved data sharing. Ultimately, the Setagaya family case is more than just a true crime story. It is a tragedy about a family whose lives were stolen. It is a story about justice denied. The passage of time has not softened the blow. With each passing year, the hope of finding the killer fades, but the need for answers does not. The case reminds us that even in the safest of societies, darkness can find a way in. It teaches us that some questions may never be answered, and some wounds may never fully heal. The ghost of Setagaya still walks the quiet streets of Tokyo, a chilling reminder of a family that was lost and a killer who was never found.